Hi guys, James from Northeast Guys. I want to do a quick deck profile on Goku U7. For you who don't know what the leader does, it's essentially a draw one when you attack, but you also have an activate main to burst 3, draw a card, and then discard a card. You also awaken when you have 7 or more U7 in the drop, or if your life's 4 or less, you untap one, you draw and draw one. When you're awakened, you just have an activate main to straight up draw, and then you can mill up to 3 of your own cards. Ideally, you don't really want to do that all the time. And then you have a second activate main, the Sparking 20, you can add back 1 mono red U7 card from your drop to your hand. It has a permanent on both sides that you can't warp any cards from your own drop area, so keep that in mind. I'm going to start off with the small little 1-drop package with 3 of the Gohans, 3 of the Android 17s, and 2 of the Piccolos. The Gohans are essentially just searchers in this deck because I don't play the skillless package. I'm just not a big fan of it. But essentially you search the top 5 and you add up to a U7, that's 4 or less, which basically just helps you search all your key pieces for the deck. Like I said, I don't run skillless, so the second auto to combo and draw, I don't run that. Then the 17s are just a straight up hardcast draw, or if you mill them from your leader effect, you can then burst another one to then play it from the drop. It's essentially early game combo power. And the Piccolo, which I don't see many lists run, but essentially it's a self-awakener. You swing, then it's an auto to take a life, give itself 10k, and it restands. This is great against like the blue decks that like want to stall you out so you can start taking your life, because there's nothing worse than having 8 life against a blue deck when you're running out of resources, you're not gaining any from life. You've maybe seen most of your deck by then, and then you can sort of work out what's in your life, and it's not a good position to be in. So, and again, it's just early combo power. You probably swing with this once and then just combo it off. The super combo is a choice again. Of course, it's the freezers. It's the best one for the deck. Simple 1-drop draw 2. Well, yeah, combo draw 1, Sparking 5. Instantly turn 2. It's going to be live. I play a 1 over the Vegeta, which is if you combo it and then tap 1, you get to restand your leader against 5k. But it negates its autos and activate mains and all that type of stuff. Then for the sort of aggression of the deck, you've got 4 of the Android 17s, which is essentially just a 15k double striker that has a spot activate main that if you've got 5 U7s in the drop, you can just play it for 1 energy, but most of these cards in the deck are all limit 1s, so you kind of hope that they don't get counterplayed. It's Sparking 7, double strike, look at the top 3 cards, add up to 1 U7. Then we've got the first counterplay of the deck, which is the Gokus. Great card. Minuses a card 15k on play. If it manages to kill the card, that's when you draw the card. It's a Sparking 7 to reduce itself down by 2, which is making it a 1 cost. But its counterplay is only limit 1. For some removal, I play 2 of the Karakens. The card's been out for a while, I don't need to speak about it. Personally, the MVP for the deck for me is this 4-drop freezer. It's a 19k dual attack, who's also Sparking 7 to gain the dual attack, and it has the same activate main as the Android 17, who pay 1, bring it out. It's freaking awesome, this card, I love it. Then for some barrier removal, we have 3 of the Vegetas. I don't often play this card, but there is tight spots where, like against yellow specifically, if you want to get rid of their poutine, it's sort of like an easy way to sort of get that off the board. I play 2 Divine Presences. I never used to play this card, I never used to like it, but I ended up putting it in because when I was testing against SS4 Vegeta, where the build was specifically very defensive, the Boo Unison was giving us so much trouble, so this just helps with that. It only costs like 2 energy, but you need to combo 2 red cards, which your entire deck's basically bought 2 cards mono red, so it just made sense to like stick it in. Again, I play 3 of the tag teams. I sort of tend to play this deck a bit passively, so I'll always have like one energy up. Even though it's like an aggro, the mid-range deck. If your opponent's smart, he'll focus on your board more than anything else. And this helps with that sort of outcome if they do that. Say if they attack your freezer, you activate battle, you give the freezer 6k till the end of your next turn. And then you've got another 20k body on board, as long as he's not in play himself. And then that freezer becomes a 25k dual attacker for your following turn. So it just works out really nice. And the freezer being 25k obviously helps with Heartfelt, which we obviously play. Then for the big guy, we'll play 3 of. I went in between 3, 2, tried it at 4 at one point, and 3 just seemed the optimal number. 2, I was never seeing it enough, or it was being stuck in your life and all that type of stuff, and it just wasn't really helpful. So 3 was perfect. The secret rare choice, obviously, it has to be the only one. And that's basically every U7 card that I play in the deck. We'll go on to like the non-U7 stuff, but more of the tech choices. So I play 2 of the 1-drop Gokus. It's a bond of 3. Once per turn you activate main, you give itself 21k and it becomes a 25k. On play it just draws. It is quite crucial because you're going to be building the board massively, so bond 3 is quite an easy way for this to get its activate main. Play 1 each Kai. I wish this card had the U7 tag, but it doesn't. But yeah, I think you just have to. I play only 2 of the Resolutes. 9 times out of 10, this is only helpful in a yellow matchup where they've riposted you. If you want to stop their riposte, that's the only time you kind of really want to do it. So I tried it at 3 and I just thought it was too claggy. So I kept it at 2. We play Unison a choice. We'll play the 4 Duin. It is probably just the best one for this. I did tinker with the Red Sin, wherever that may be. I think I'd whiff this one, but ideally this just stopped your opponent being as aggressive as you. Especially in the mirror match. I know Sin can board clear on your turn, but Jiren just helped. It's like -1 of their cards by 10, and then 9 times out of 10, Jiren comes the focal point for your opponent to try and get off the board. So Jiren just felt better. To run alongside that, I run 3 Videls. Videl's awesome. Like if you're running a 3-cost red Unison, or you just play Videl. It's a shame that obviously Piccolo, the uptick draw Piccolo that got hit on the current ban list and the Rata list and all that type of stuff, it got limited to 1, so Yamcha for me was just out the window for this deck. I did think about the Gotenks Unison, the one that came in one of the expansion packs, but that was mainly because Invoker was probably going to be a thing, and its down tick for that Gotenks Unison is just rip a multicolour card. And it was a good self-awakening as well. But again, because of Invoker being probably still in the game, but not as dominant as it potentially could have been with just that Android 817 being a 1-cost. Yeah, just stick to Videl. Running Unisons, okay, you've got to run the 1 of. And then the second 1 of is Heartfelt. Like I said before, that Tag Team Vegeta is probably one of the main ways of getting them out. Like making the card be 25k. But no, it's just great. Against Blue, again, a lot of the players are playing Dirty Burst. So what I would end up doing was on turn 4, just hold off your Awaken, play your 8-drop, they'd probably Dirty Burst so you can't swing with it, then Awaken, sack off the 8-drop, and then replace it with Heartfelt because it's less than 7. The second way of getting your Heartfelt cheated out is the After Image. It gets essentially these guys. Any of your 1-drops in the deck, you can just Spark and Life, give something -10, give one of the 1-drops 40k, and then because it's during battle, you then can awaken, sack off the 1-drop because it's now higher than 25, and then play your half health. It's like a defensive move to do it. 2 Violent Rays. These used to be Imposing Presence, and I'm still 50-50 on which one I do, but at the moment it's sided. Like, if the matchup requires Imposing Presence, they'll go in. If they don't, Violent Rays sticks around. And finally, just 2 Quits a Guy. Used to run at 3, and then just found it too claggy. But yeah, if there's any questions, put in the comment section, and enjoy.